Ava Raine, now known only as Ava, she is one of NXT's key authority figures, sitting under only Shawn Michaels in the hierarchy of the brand. Hi lovely viewers, welcome to my channel. I am Lima, hope your day is so well. If you like the video, and subscribe the channel. There may be many fans still unfamiliar with Ava, though there is a whole lot to know about her both in her life outside of the ring, and when it comes to her WWE career too. She is certainly someone to keep an eye on given her rich wrestling heritage. The Rock is one of the all-time greats with several world titles to his name, a career in Hollywood, and being one of the most famous people on the planet. Ava certainly has one hell of a job to do to escape that shadow, but in truth, she is doing well to distance herself and carve out her own legacy in WWE. Ava has professional wrestling in her blood, dating back to the time of Peter Maivia, who formed a blood brother bond with Reverend anoa'i, which makes her a legitimate member of the bloodline if WWE wanted to go in that direction. Her relation to her father isn't something mentioned on WWE programming. The list of names who have been the NXT general manager is a prestigious one, and Ava has now been added to that list, which includes William Regal, GBL, and Dusty Rhodes. In 2024, Ava was granted this role by Shawn Michaels, and from there she has been one of the key decision-makers on the brand and the youngest GM in WWE history. Among her decisions have included the introduction of the NXT North American Women's Championship, the first mid-card title in WWE. With her lineage, it is no surprise that Ava trained to become a professional wrestler. After her Performance Center training, she debuted at NXT Stand and Deliver 2023. Over the next few months, Ava competed on both NXT programming and on live events, but overall her time in the ring was kept short. She was very green and was clearly not yet ready for the spotlight. She has not competed in a match since August 2023. However, Ava Raine's professional wrestling passion did not come from her father. Given who her father is, you'd have thought that it was The Rock who gave Ava the push to follow in his footsteps to become a professional wrestler. However, it was her grandmother who gave her that push and inspiration. Speaking to Alicia Atout, she revealed how she got into wrestling. When I was a kid, I used to sleep over at her house on weekends and I hadn't really watched wrestling at all until my dad returned in 2011. And then my grandma sat me down and said, "Okay, we should start watching wrestling." My grandma has cases and cases of wrestling DVDs and I would go through them all the time and watch them for hours. That was what made me fall in love with wrestling, and I was like, I want to do this one day. Obviously, my dad and grandpa wrestled, so I think my grandma always wanted that to be a part of my life, and when my dad came back, she thought that was the right opportunity, and she was right. Despite WWE pushing some very young names in the past, with the likes of Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton winning world titles in their early 20s, it is actually rare in this day and age of WWE for talents to be featured heavily under the age of 25. Ava is an exception to the rule. At just 22 years of age, she is one of the very youngest individuals to be used on WWE TV in quite some time. She was born in 2001, which is sure to make many of us feel very old. Ava's first steps in WWE were unconventional ones, being lured into the Schism faction alongside Joe Gacy and the grizzled young veterans. She was a sadistic heel and competed alongside the group in a feud with Chase U. This spell was short-lived before the faction went their separate ways. As green as Ava was in the ring, there was no denying her presence when standing between the ropes against her opponents. She towered over most that she was up against, clearly gaining genes and height from her father. Ava is among the taller female wrestlers in WWE, standing at 5 foot and 10 inches. For comparison, the likes of Rhea Ripley are just